Imagine a world where giants roamed the earth, creatures so massive and powerful that nothing could challenge their reign. For 160 million years, dinosaurs dominated the planet, shaping the very fabric of life. But in a single, catastrophic moment, their world came crashing down, literally. A colossal rock, as large as Mount Everest, hurtled from the depths of space and changed the course of history forever. Welcome to the story of the last day of the dinosaurs, a tale of destruction, survival, and the dawn of a new era. Let's dive into this epic moment that reshaped our planet 66 million years ago. Picture Earth at the tail end of the Cretaceous period, the final chapter of the Mesozoic era. The supercontinent Pangaea had mostly split apart by now, forming land masses that look somewhat familiar to us today, though not quite the same. South and North America had finally separated, while Africa, Australia, and Greenland already resembled their modern shapes. Europe and Asia were still taking form, with mountain ranges like the Andes, the Cordillera, and the peaks of Siberia and Mongolia rising from the earth. The Cretaceous period, lasting 79 million years, holds the record as the longest stretch of the Mesozoic era. During this time, the planet's climate shifted multiple times. By the end, it had cooled down significantly, with ice caps forming at the poles and winters growing harsher. In some regions, temperatures dropped to below 14 degrees Fahrenheit, and in Alaska they plummeted as low as minus 49 degrees Fahrenheit. Still, the world was warmer than it is today, a lush paradise of vegetation covering the continents. This was a time of incredible biodiversity. Flowering plants emerged for the first time, joining ancient conifers, ginkgo trees, and other species to create dense forests. Modern-looking trees like walnuts, ash, and beech thrived alongside them. The rich soil produced by these plants supported a variety of new herbs, while the arrival of flowering plants sparked an evolution in insects. Butterflies and bees took to the skies, spreading pollen and aiding the growth of seeded fruits. These fruits became a vital food source for many animals, including birds, driving the evolution of herbivorous dinosaurs and early mammals. The population of carnivores, hoofed animals, insect eaters, and even early primates grew under these favorable conditions. Back then, most mammals were small, rodent-like creatures or tiny predators. For instance, in Argentina, scientists uncovered the fossilized head of a 20-centimeter-long mammal called Granopio dentiacudus, nicknamed the saber-toothed squirrel due to its long snout and sharp fangs. It likely fed on insects. Larger mammals existed too, like the Ventana certici marmo from Madagascar, a herbivore weighing about 20 pounds, 3 times the size of modern marmots, with massive crests on its skull for protection and a keen sense of smell. Then there was Ropano-mammathus, a giant among Cretaceous mammals, with a 1-meter-long body and a weight of 26 to 31 pounds. Resembling a modern Tasmanian devil or a stocky dog, this predator even hunted small or newly hatched dinosaurs. Yet, despite the rise of mammals, dinosaurs were the true rulers of this prehistoric world. They sat at the top of the food chain, with countless species of all shapes and sizes spread across every continent. The smallest known dinosaur, Ocodontavis hongri, had a head no longer than 14 millimeters, beak included. While scientists haven't found its body yet, its size suggests it was no bigger than a modern hummingbird. On the other end of the spectrum, the mighty Alamosaurus towered over the landscape at 95 feet tall, weighed 38 tons, and wielded a 40-foot-long tail. Some believe it may be the largest land animal to have ever lived. Now, let's zoom in on that fateful day, just 5 hours before everything changed. Life on Earth carried on as usual. Young and old creatures alike were busy foraging or hunting, unaware of the disaster looming above. In the Yucatan Peninsula, a herd of 50 Alamosauruses lumbered along in search of fresh greenery. These gentle giants were herbivores, needing to consume up to a ton of plants daily to sustain their massive bodies. It could take them days to strip a forest bare, so they lived a nomadic life, always on the move. Meanwhile, in what is now Mongolia and China, a middle-aged Tarbosaurus, a fearsome predator, was on the hunt. At 46 feet long, this species ranked among the largest carnivorous dinosaurs of the Cretaceous. Our Tarbosaurus prowled a floodplain, a perfect spot where medium-sized animals and small dinosaurs often came to drink. Walking on 2 powerful hind legs, its tiny, 2-fingered forelimbs seemed almost comical compared to its massive body. But they were useful for gripping prey or catching fish with long claws. Its real weapon, though, was a mouthful of nearly 70 sharp teeth, some as long as 3 inches. With just 3 hours until impact, life continued peacefully for many. In North America, an adult Pachycephalosaurus went about its day. This 15-foot-long dinosaur weighed around 990 pounds and looked intimidating with a 10-inch thick bone dome on its skull, perfect for absorbing blows during fights. Bony projections and short spikes adorned the back of its head and snout. Primarily a herbivore, it used its small, sharp teeth to crush leaves, seeds, and fruits, though evidence suggests it also ate meat, including small amphibians, mammals, and perhaps even baby dinosaurs. On this day, our Pachycephalosaurus wandered closer to the ocean, finding trees loaded with nutritious seeds and plenty of critters like giant ammonite mollusks and lizards in nearby lagoon. At the same time, in western North America, a female Ankylosaurus led her 4 newly hatched cubs into a forest for a meal. This dinosaur, roughly the size of a rhinoceros or even an adult African elephant, looked like something out of a nightmare. Its body was covered in thick bone armor, and its tail ended in a massive club-like knob. Despite its fearsome appearance, Ankylosaurus was a peaceful herbivore. The mother used her tail club not for attack, but for defense against predators or aggressive reptiles. Protected by their mother's formidable weapon, the family ventured into a dense forest near the newly formed Rocky Mountains. Just 2 hours before the impact, a brutal clash unfolded hundreds of miles from the impending disaster site in North America. A careless Carnotaurus wandered into the territory of a Tyrannosaurus rex and failed to notice the owner in time. At a speed of up to 31 miles per hour, Carnotaurus could have outrun its rival, who topped out at 25 miles per hour. But the T-Rex appeared too suddenly. Its incredible sense of smell had picked up the intruder from a distance, and with eyesight sharper than a hawk's, combined with binocular vision, the T-Rex could pinpoint its prey with deadly accuracy. Furious to defend its territory, and eager for a meal, the T-Rex attacked. If we were there to place bets, everyone would have put their money on the T-Rex. Weighing up to 8 tons, it dwarfed the Carnotaurus by nearly 5 tons. Its sheer muscle mass and strength were overwhelming. Even with horn-like projections above its eyes, Carnotaurus stood no chance against the T-Rex's bone-crushing jaws. The fight was over quickly, and the T-Rex began its feast, devouring its rival. Needing up to 220 pounds of meat daily, equivalent to the intake of 3 or 4 lions. It was a lucky day for the predator. Engrossed in its meal, the T-Rex didn't notice the bright light growing larger in the sky. 10 minutes before impact, a massive asteroid approached Earth. In mere moments, it would wipe out 75% of all living creatures, triggering the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event. Back in 1980, scientists proposed that an asteroid impact caused this catastrophe after finding unusually high levels of iridium, a rare metal on Earth but common in certain asteroids, in 66-million-year-old clay layers worldwide. A decade later, researchers pinpointed the impact site, a 112-mile-wide crater in the Yucatan Peninsula named Chicxulub. Its age matches the time of the dinosaur extinction, and it contains significant amounts of iridium, with levels decreasing the farther you move from the crater's center. More recently, 25,000 fossil fragments of animals that died on the same day were found in New Jersey quarries, further evidence of the mass extinction tied to this event. 2 minutes before impact, as the T-Rex enjoyed its meal, a 6-mile-wide rock weighing trillions of tons entered the atmosphere. Pulled by Earth's gravity, it accelerated to an astonishing 4 miles per second. Like a piston, it compressed columns of air, and friction heated the asteroid to tens of thousands of degrees Fahrenheit, making it brighter than the sun. The T-Rex, taking a break from eating, looked up and was blinded by the blazing sky. It lowered its head, closing its eyes, but the intense light burned through its eyelids. The heat scorched its skin and ignited the surrounding trees and grass. A second later, the asteroid vanished over the horizon, leaving a glowing sky behind. The T-Rex had a brief reprieve, but only for a moment. Seconds passed. Then the sky flared blindingly bright again. The asteroid slammed into the Gulf of Mexico near the northern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula. The energy released was equivalent to 10 billion Hiroshima atomic bombs. In an instant, the rock penetrated 4 miles into Earth's crust, sending shockwaves that shook the entire planet like 1,000 ringing bells. To give you an idea, the relatively recent Krakatoa volcano eruption ruptured aerodromes of sailors 43 miles away. This asteroid impact was 1,000,000 times more powerful. Shockwaves raced outward faster than the speed of sound, stripping animals of their skin, hurling them into the air, and crushing everything even hundreds of miles from the crater. Even the heaviest dinosaurs were tossed like balloons. The T-Rex suffered a fatal concussion and died instantly, its body lifted into the air by the shockwave for several seconds before crashing back down. The wave circled the globe multiple times. Before it even reached the T-Rex, the asteroid obliterated the herd of Alamosauruses grazing near the impact site. The unbearable heat incinerated everything, reducing their bones to ash. Farther away, the female Ankylosaurus and her cubs, hundreds of miles from the crater, perished even sooner. As the asteroid passed through the atmosphere, it sparked massive fires. One engulfed the forest where the Ankylosaurus family fed, burning them alive with no chance of escape. The impact also ejected 15 trillion tons of rock into the sky. Some escaped into space, but most, including house-sized boulders, fell back to Earth. A deadly rain of hot, 5-millimeter rock fragments followed, killing countless creatures. Remarkably, the Pachycephalosaurus near the ocean in North America survived the initial fires and falling debris. But its luck ran out when a 328-foot-high tsunami, triggered by the impact, rose from the sea. For comparison, the devastating 2011 tsunami in Japan reached just 33 feet, yet caused immense destruction. This prehistoric wave surged thousands of miles inland, flooding much of what would become the United States. Evidence of these waves has been found as far as North Dakota. One such wave swept the Pachycephalosaurus under, dragging its body into the ocean's depths. In modern-day Mongolia, far from the impact site, an elderly Tarbosaurus hunted for prey. Hundreds of dinosaur species still roam the wooded areas here, unaware of the approaching doom. The asteroid strike unleashed earthquakes measuring up to 11. 2 on the Richter scale, 50 times stronger than any quake in human history. For context, the 1960 Great Chilean Earthquake at 9.5 magnitude was devastating. A 1-point increase means 30 times more energy. The planet trembled so violently that volcanoes worldwide erupted, spewing 70 billion tons of pulverized stone, soot, ash, and carbon monoxide into the air. As these particles fell back, friction raised temperatures dramatically. A scorching cloud of dust swept across the planet at 11,185 miles per hour, burning everything in its path. In Mongolia, an hour and a half after impact, temperatures soared to 302 degrees Fahrenheit, killing nearly all life. Yet, a few survived. Our Tarbosaurus and a handful of others found refuge in an underground cave, escaping the deadly cloud. Soon, temperatures dropped, followed by acid rain, as hundreds of billions of tons of sulfur compounds flooded the troposphere. For weeks, sulfuric acid poured down, poisoning soil and water. A thick blanket of dust, ash, and soot enveloped Earth, blocking sunlight and heat. Even at noon, it was as dark as night. Temperatures fell by 50 degrees Fahrenheit, ushering in an impact winter. When hunger and thirst forced the Tarbosaurus and others from their cave, they emerged into a cold, dark, desolate world. Only decay, fungi, and molds thrived. With no food left, countless animals starved, including our Tarbosaurus, possibly one of the last dinosaurs on Earth. Some speculate that a few dinosaur eggs survived underground, hatching later into small, scattered groups. But cold, hunger, and disease ensured their extinction. The era of dinosaurs ended, giving way to the Cenozoic era. Over decades, dust clouds cleared, allowing sunlight and warmth to return. Nature slowly recovered, with giant horsetails and ferns sprouting first, followed by flowering plants and grasses. Animals long overshadowed by dinosaurs, especially mammals, stepped into the spotlight. Having survived in burrows or on trees, mammals adapted to harsh conditions, reproduced quickly, and needed little food. Their success paved the way for the rise of Homo sapiens, now Earth's dominant species. But we've only ruled for a few million years, far from the dinosaurs' 160-million-year reign. Only time will tell if we can match their legacy.